Like the title of the video says, we're going to be talking about health for Evil Dead, the game. There's actually a lot of different aspects to health in this game. First of all, we have base health of each class. Each class shares the same base HP pool. So hunters and supports both have 900 base HP, whereas leaders have 1,000 and warriors have 1,300. Henry the Red has a specific talent that gives him a bonus 10% to his HP pool. So Henry technically has the most health of any character in the game. But otherwise, other than Henry the Red's perk specifically, all the classes basically share the same health pool. Now, there's two other things that affect the amount of health that a character can have. We see one of them on the screen. We'll talk about industrial strength in a second. First, let's talk about Pink F. So Pink F is something that is also different based on your class. Hunters only have access to 2 points into Pink F health. Leaders have access to 3 points, and warriors and supports have access to 4 points. Now, this is pretty important because the scaling on your Pink F health is actually pretty high. So the first point of Pink F health is worth 25, the second one is worth 50, the third one is worth 100, and the fourth one is worth 200. So you start off with 25 and it literally doubles every single point. This is obviously way better for supports and warriors. It's literally twice as good as that of leader, and leader is twice as good as the hunter bonus. So this should affect how you perk into your Pink F as you're playing through the game. Now, an additional thing to note is that these numbers are not additive together. They are just a flat amount based on whatever level you are. What does that mean? That means if you're at Pink F health 2 as a hunter, that is not a bonus 75 health. It is a bonus 50 health. If you were at Pink F health 4 as a support or a warrior, that is 200 health. It is not 375. So just keep that in mind. It might not be as good as you're thinking, and it is a flat amount. So the other thing that we want to talk about is industrial strength. This is also different based on which class you are. So for supports and warriors, you actually get access to 4 points in industrial strength, whereas the other two classes only have access to 3 of these points. Now, some things to note about the perks and which level you're at. The first point is worth 10% health. All the subsequent health amounts are 5%. So the first point is way more efficient than the rest of the points. An additional thing to note is that for supports specifically, the 4th point for industrial strength is bugged. It does not work. So for warriors it works. For hunters and leaders, they do not have access to the 4th point, but for supports specifically, the 4th point does not work and is actually a huge negative. You do not want to take the 4th point because if you take the 4th point, you do not go from 20 to 25%, you go from 20 to 0% maximum health. The 4th point does not only not give you a bonus, it removes all of your industrial strength bonus. So currently, as of the build in the game, as of the making of the video, it is never worth to go 4 out of 4 industrial strength. It is literally bugged. Please do not do it. Obviously, if you're watching from the future, maybe this is fixed, so this point is completely moot. One interaction that's really important between these two things is how industrial strength and Pink F correlate to each other. Are they multiplicative? And the answer to that is no. So the way the health formula works, and I'll go ahead and put it on screen, is you basically take your base health, you multiply that by your industrial strength modifier, and then you add your Pink F bonus onto the end of it. So Pink F bonus does not get your industrial strength modifier. This can be kind of important, especially on supports and warriors, where they get 4 industrial strength perk points and they get the 4 Pink F. That could have actually made a pretty decent health difference, but it isn't multiplicative, it's additive. The final thing that I want to talk about is why I don't think taking extra points into industrial strength is worth it for most classes. And this is entirely based on how Shemps work. So we couldn't have a video about health without talking about Shemps. So what is a Shemps? So Shemps is the support item that heals your health. So whenever you drink a Shemps, it heals you for 50% of your HP. Now, increasing your Pink F health and increasing industrial strength health will actually increase the amount that your Shemps will heal you for, because it's always 50%. This is actually really good. This means that if you buff your health a bunch, your Shemps are worth more on yourself. However, when a support drinks a Shemps, they not only heal themselves for 50% of their health, they also heal outside around them other people. How much though? This is where I think industrial strength is really misunderstood, because the outgoing heal for a support is a flat amount. It's 360 health. This gets buffed by things like Shemps Plus and Cheryl's level 25 talent. But at the end of the day, it's a flat amount. That means if you're a warrior and you increase your HP really high, it's not actually going to increase the amount that Cheryl is healing you for. It's not going to increase the amount that any of your supports are healing you for. And that's where I kind of get into the conclusion that industrial strength for most classes is really just starting HP. Now, I'm not saying that you won't drink Shemps in your game yourself. Right, there's obviously going to be scenarios where you need to drink a Shemps yourself. Your support is being hit, you're really low HP, you have to drink a Shemps. In solo queue, I think taking HP is probably a lot better than in a pre-made, because you can't count on your supports as much to pop Shemps when you need them to. However, in any sort of environment where you trust your support, the majority of your Shemps usage will be from your support. This means that you are not drinking Shemps yourself, you're dropping them so that the support can drink them. So this percentage increase, this 50% healing that you're going to be getting, doesn't even matter unless you're a support. That's why I never take industrial strength unless I'm on support. I'll take 1 point for travel, or even 1 point just because the first point's pretty efficient. But at the end of the day, industrial strength is really just your starting HP, unless you're a support. Now, the one caveat that I can think of to this, besides obviously being solo queue, is the fact that for industrial strength, you actually increase your max health pool, which can let you not be overhealed as much. Now, in general, your support should be healing when it's efficient to heal, so you're not overhealing them a bunch. And this overhealing is basically when you pop a Shemps as a support and like 2 of your people are at maximum health and 1 of your people is at like 20%. This is obviously something that sometimes you just have to go over and drink a Shemps just to save that one guy. But in general, you should try to save your Shemp usage to be efficient as much as possible for the AoE. Obviously not always super important, but having a higher health pool sometimes can reduce the amount of overhealing you get just because your health pool is larger and you don't look like you're missing as much HP. So that's the one caveat to the industrial strength, is just starting HP, but otherwise I think it really is just starting HP. So if you guys differ on this opinion, let me know. If I missed anything or misrepresented anything, let me know.